everyone, it's Maki here. On February 18th, the event for the movie Gundam Seed Freedom was held. It included a session where you could enjoy the movie while listening to comments from the voice actors and staff. This program will discuss content that contains spoilers for the movie. If you plan to watch the movie without prior information, we recommend that you skip this program. This time we will delve into small and surprising tidbits about the characters. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and embark on a journey to discover the charm of the Gundam series. Let's talk about Agnes given Ross first. Her voice actress is Hako Kuwashima. In the Seed series, she voiced characters like Nataro Bado's Lei Ulster and Stella Lucer. Many fans focused on the fact that Kuwashima was playing the role, speculating that Agnes might not survive to the end of the story. It seems that Kuwashima shared the same opinion. When I was offered the role of Agnes, the staff told me this time, "Your character will also lose her life." Of course, as voice actors, we know that we have no say in the fate of our characters, so I didn't mind. When I read the script, it wasn't clear how she would leave the story. I personally predicted that she might die after losing to Luna Maria. The voice recording for Seed Freedom was done in two parts, the first half and the second half. Often, voice actors record their parts without the visuals being complete, especially in battle scenes, where they may not fully understand the situation they are acting in. Kuwashima continues, "I was under the impression that Agnes' death was a foregone conclusion. But during the recording of the second half of the story, Maya Sakamoto, who voices Luna Maria, told me that Agnes would survive. I was puzzled, remembering the lines I had recorded, surprised by the turn of events." Sakamoto said with a smile, "If Luna Maria had killed her childhood friend, it would have left a deep scar in her heart." Agnes' last line is, "I didn't choose to be like this." She leaves the story without finishing her sentence. In the final scene of the movie, there is a moment when Luna Maria's impulse Gundam reaches out to Agnes, but no voice for Agnes is heard. In the Seed series, there were many characters like Clodo Burr and Sting Opry who died while speaking, interrupted by an explosion. It's understandable that Kuwashima, who recorded her lines without seeing the visuals, would be surprised. Regarding Shure Serpentine, Yuichi Nakamura, who voiced him, commented, "The scene where Athrun imagines Kaguri in a sexy pose and Shure exaggerates his surprise is very funny. Actually, Shure has no experience with women at all. It was written that way in the script. Director Fukuda also instructed me to overreact, so I gave it my all." This is very interesting information. If Graham Acker, previously voiced by Nakamura, had encountered the same scene, he might have been surprised but would not have stopped his attack. Perhaps the weakness of Accord and the others was their lack of diverse experiences. In the story, there is a scene where Shura is hacked by Agnes. Perhaps Shura was incredibly nervous at the time. Takehito Koyosu, who voiced Mu Love Flavor, talked about a time during Sea Destiny. "During the recording of Destiny, Mr. Fukuto asked me, 'Do you prefer to be Neo Roanoke or Mu?' I replied, 'I want to be by Mauramia's side at the end.' Kotuno Mitsuishi, who voiced Mauramias, also commented on past works. There could have been a love battle between Mu and Backfeld. It seems that the ending was decided when Koyasu said, 'I absolutely don't want to let go of Mu, so it's impossible.' If it's during the production of a TV anime, it might be difficult to make significant changes because of the schedule. Maybe the director had already decided on the development, but asked the actors to confirm their understanding of their characters. Of course, this is just my personal speculation. Kenichi Suzumura, who voiced Shin Asuka, commented on the Immortal Justice Gundam. How Shin felt when he was assigned the Justice Gundam. He probably accepted it happily without thinking too deeply, happy to be asked by Kiro Yamato. It's only later upon reflection that he might have thought, wait, that's the Gundam Athrun used to pilot, and felt complicated about it. In the novel, Shin's feelings are depicted in a scene almost identical to Suzumura's opinion, mentioning the complexity of piloting the same type of Gundam that Athrun once piloted, even though it's a successor model. Akira Ishida, who voiced Athrun, commented when he saw Offie talking to Lars crying. Lars and Athrun were once engaged. As Athrun, there are many bitter memories associated with Lars' sharp words. At the end of the movie, Offie experiences something similar. It felt a bit nostalgic. Ishida also talks about the relationship between Shin and Athrun. In a scene where Athrun and Kira are fighting, Shin seems to jump at Athrun as a rebuke. In the movie, Shin confronts me again. Maybe the relationship wasn't mended after the war in Sea Destiny. Since they worked for different organizations, maybe they didn't have much opportunity to talk. Suzumura tells Ishida that there's a change in the way Shin addresses Athrun now. In the movie, he calls Athrun by name. During the tense times at the end of Sea Destiny, he never called Athrun by name. Seed Freedom is a movie full of discoveries. I recently made a small discovery as well. It's the scene where Kira Yamato is researching the Destiny plan at home. In that scene, a clock appears on the screen. Remember the time on the clock. Later, Lars wakes up and covers Kira, who fell asleep while working, with a blanket. It's a scene that shows how much Lars cares for Kira. However, when Lars covers Kira with the blanket, a clock appears on the screen again. The time shown on the clock is exactly the same as when Kira was researching the Destiny plan. Kira may not have wanted to talk about his research on the Destiny plan. He was deeply troubled by the fact that his rejection of the Destiny plan might contribute to the continuation of the war in the world. Although he noticed that Lars was waking up, he couldn't turn off the computer in time. But he also lacked the courage to talk to Lars about his problems. That's how I felt this scene depicted his anguish. Let's meet again in the next episode.